Hello everybody and welcome to DMG TV. I'd like to thank you for clicking on this video, hitting that subscribe button, and slightly caressing your mouse over that thumbs up and giving it a click as well. Today we're going to be going over the somewhat shit show that was the Anthem demo that took place over this past week. I know that I'm a little late to the game, but I wanted to see how BioWare handled all these network issues and glitches and things like that before I just kind of jumped on them and sunk my teeth into them like most of the other YouTube content creators. But I'm definitely probably not going to be making any super friends with the folks over at BioWare. But before I get into everything that's bad, I do want to get into the good side of things, and there is a lot of good to speak of. First off, Anthem looks absolutely amazing. Finally, there is a game that's worth playing on my absolutely overbuilt, water-cooled gaming rig at maximum settings and just enjoying the hell out of it on my 4K TV. I'm very much looking forward to hopefully putting in hundreds if not thousands of hours in the Anthem universe. The movement is pretty spot on for being a third-person shooter. The flight was somewhat clunky, but the movement's absolutely amazing, and I usually don't say that about third-person games. And that flight can be fixed with a controller if you're on PC, which isn't, game-ending. It's not a PvP type game, so, using a controller isn't that bad. The gunplay is up there as well. It's probably the best that I've seen out of a third-person shooter type game. So kudos there, BioWare. Well, BioWare. Some of the boss fights were really good, but like most of the looter shooter type games, it consisted of bullet sponge bosses, then waves of ads, then bullet sponge boss, then more ads, and so on and so forth, rinse and repeat type stuff. I was really hoping to see some type of new mechanic boss fights introduced with Anthem, but that might change in the future as when the full game launches and DLCs come out and things of that nature. Getting into the weapons were really good. Heavy pistols being one of the best for the little time that I used it. I used a lot of the light machine gun, really found that to be great. I'm more of a quantity over quality type person when it comes to the weapon. I'm not super accurate. I'm a pretty good player, but I'm not top tier. I'm definitely not going to be a LFG. What is that? LMG, LFG? Yeah, fucking pro gamer status for sure. But another thing that I would like outside of the games and everything, or the weapons have been really good in it, especially that heavy pistol and that light machine guns. I would like to see some sort of primary, secondary, and heavy weapon system to fill some of the gaps. When I was playing, I found a lot of the time I was in between optimal ranges of my weapons. So if they had some sort of a heavy weapon slot to kind of fill those gaps, that would be awesome. I don't know if that's going to change in the future as well, but we'll see. I won't be going into javelins too much. I was only the Storm class, which was nearly game-breaking with how OP it was, and most of my gameplay was filled with spamming my ice powers, especially when the other players I was playing with were down. Now, kind of the best part for me was seeing the depth of the customization in the game. I love grind. I almost don't think a game can be too grindy if the loot is worth it. I have over 1,200 hours in Destiny 1, grinding for pretty much every piece of loot and every god roll tiered weapon that I could possibly find that I really wanted. It really kind of sucks seeing that absolutely gutted from Destiny 2. I think that's being changed back, or it has already been changed back, but it was enough to where I haven't even gone back to Destiny 2. So seeing how the depth of everything and customization and everything like that in Anthem really made me stoked. I was super happy to see that. So there is a lot of good stuff coming with Anthem, but that can all very easily be wiped with the bad that I'm about to get into. And if it's not fixed, and if microtransactions are so baked into the game that it pulls another Battlefront 2. So first thing in the bad side of it is how in 2019 is server issues still a thing? I mean, EA knows how many pre-orders were sold, how many keys were given out, how many friend codes were given out, how many everything. I mean, they know roughly within probably 10 or 15% of how many people are going to be going into the demo. So how in their new flagship game is server issue going to be a thing? Come on, EA. I shouldn't even be talking about it. Shouldn't even be wasting my breath. Also, the hundreds and hundreds of glitches, well, maybe not hundreds, but the plethora of glitches and bugs, loading screen glitches, falling through the ground glitches, being stuck underwater glitches, the network related issues. I mean, it's a lot. So, I mean, if these things aren't fixed, if the network thing isn't fixed, and all the basically the game breaking bugs aren't fixed, it's not even worth it. Like, Anthem's toast. It's gone. So they say they're addressing most of these things, but we'll see how the open demo goes, and we'll see how it launches. So going back to the demo, they call it a demo when in reality it's a beta of a 6-month-old build. And why would they have everyone demo a 6-month-old build that barely represents the finished game, you ask? They want good reviews. The balance with the entire in-game economy will be completely different on the full game. The drop rates will be completely different. How easy everything is to get will be different. The cost of the cosmetics and how much you'll have to grind for them if you don't want to shell out cash will be different. I mean, I love grind, but if it's going to take me 500 hours to get a skin, pushing people to buy or pushing me to buy instead of playing the game, just like they did in Battlefront 2, I'm out. Like, nope, I'm good. There's plenty of other games. We've got the Division 2 coming out, which, yeah, I'm sure they're going to have microtransactions too. There's Warframe, which is amazing if you're liking grindy stuff. But if that's all prevalent in the game, no. Good. I'm good. And EA doesn't really have right now a great suite of games. So there's a lot of money riding on this, or there's a lot of, well, most of the EA is probably riding on this. If they fail at this, they might as well not even make for third-person shooter or action games anymore. Their stock has been pummeled and lost half of its value over the past year. Shareholders have lost confidence in the company's ability to increase revenue. Now, what EA should do, and I pray they do, is really work on making a fantastic game with a very fair, balanced economy, which will make it a bit grindy, but not so much as to force people to pay for the customizing their javelins in the way that they want. Warframe did that fantastically. I mean, I don't like mentioning it, but Fortnite, absolute free-to-play game, and they did what, like 1-point-something billion in revenue? That's insane. So you can make even free games that do exceptionally well. But will EA make this a fair and balanced game, or are they going to gouge it? They're probably going to go in, and this game's probably going to be so rife, and I really hope it's not, but it's probably going to be so rife with microtransactions that it's not even funny. That, I think, is the main reason why the in-game economy was not present in its final form in the demo. It's the only reason. And don't even think for 1 second that it's not complete. I assure you that the in-game economy has been completely worked out well before they even started looking at any of the bugs. So that's already, the framework and the groundwork's already there. Now, it may not seem it, but I really do want Anthem to succeed. It's an absolutely, like I said before, it's an absolutely amazing looking world. Who doesn't want to fly around like Iron Man, like everyone else has said, in a huge open world with your friends? I mean, it's pretty amazing. I want to be able to go back to feeling okay with pre-ordering games again, and really being able to get hyped over new games and not be so cautious that almost everything is going to fail. I mean, I really miss being so amped on launch day of video games, getting all my friends over with something that launches at 10 a.m. and grinding that first day with them and making the cool memories like we used to. And, you know, over the past couple of years, gaming hasn't been that. Everyone has to be cautious. I mean, channels like the Angry Joe Show wouldn't even exist if gaming wasn't so rife with just absolute malicious practices and garbage tactics. So, I mean, we had Battlefront 2, No Man's Sky, all of Destiny 2, which was in a worse state at launch than vanilla Destiny was. The whole Mass Effect Andromeda thing. The list goes on and on. I mean, there's so many things. I don't want to wait around 6 months or a year or more to finally get the game I originally bought, or even worse, never get it. It's really sad where gaming is right now. It should be an amazing time with how good games can look, the depth of the worlds we can immerse ourselves in, the amount of technology and everything that we have to power these games. I have a twin 1080 Ti's liquid cooled, and I should be pushing these things to their max. I'm still getting massive amounts of frame rates at 4K. We need good games. I'm going to remain hopeful with how Anthem's going to go, but I will not be pre-ordering this or even buying it on launch. I'll more than likely wait a few days and see if I can rent it at Redbox for Xbox One, see how the reviews go, see how the microtransaction world's going before I ever buy it on PC. If any of you guys kind of agree with what I'm saying or anything like that, let me know what you think down in the comments. Are you pre-ordering it? Are you buying it day one? What are you looking forward to? And do you think EA is going to shoot themselves in the foot again? So that's kind of my part on it. I'd like to thank everybody for watching. Please hit that subscribe button, like the video, and check out my other videos. You all have no idea how much you give a small channel with a free sub and how big of an impact you guys have. Thank you for watching. Have a good one, guys.